Humanity. What a strong word, strong and fragile at the same time. How many challenges has history thrown at humanity? There are many. Great wars and great epidemics. The extravagance of politicians, the terrible hatred of some bipeds for others, ethnic cleansing, cataclysms, and catastrophes. Humanity lives and continues to live at the level of development allowed to it by the universe and providence itself. But that's not all. It's not all that humanity can experience for itself. Earth is the jewel in the crown of the universe. A planet inhabited by intelligent beings, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of species of living beings. And all this is threatened by the cosmic mind. So far, humanity has only touched the edges of universal malice. Its metastases have penetrated only on the surface. Everything is secret, implicit, and covered with darkness. But specific living people suffer, become drugs in inhumane experiments, disappear without a trace, become victims of malice, thirst for murder, and lust on the part of aliens. For you, I am strange, and I will not stop trying to open your eyes, to give you an understanding of the true picture of the world. I won't stop telling you the truth. This time, we will talk about the story that I already thought was over, namely, about two internally displaced persons, a husband and wife who left the territory of Russia a year and a half ago and ended up in Turkey. I don't want to be spontaneous in my judgments, but apparently they couldn't find their place in life in any way. The husband, an IT specialist with very average abilities, decided to leave his country in connection with recent events. His wife naturally followed him. They were trying to make a living in Turkey by doing odd jobs on a freelance basis, but they suffered a series of setbacks which led them to the doors of the Nushortak pharmaceutical company, whose offices are spread from the Turkish Aceburan to Cape Anamur. In the company, they were invited to participate in a number of pharmacological experiments for a fee. Of course, they were guaranteed safety, but no one warned them that experiments related to alien genetic engineering technologies would be conducted on them. At that time, I decided to connect our agent in Turkey to them, but due to the most difficult psychological overload, our agent broke down and the experimental couple stopped contacting me, independently interrupting contact with me. It's still a mystery to me how they were able to reach me. So the system is not perfect, there are gaps. So get to the point. Already considering the couple and my agent decommissioned at 21:00 p.m., I received such a message on a satellite phone with the ability to record and receive messages via the 5G network. The message made my hair stand on end.
Hello, Strange. You must remember me. I contacted you. We are a family who left the Russian Federation. You promised to help us. Do you remember? We need your help now more than ever. Your agent made an appointment for us, but did not show up for the meeting. I feel constantly being watched, and I'm pregnant. It turned out quite recently. The timing does not match the timing of a normal pregnancy. And it's not about me and my husband. Well, you know.
The message was interrupted. It all seemed strange. Our agent did not come to the meeting for objective reasons. The agent surveillance service brought me a report that the agent was dead. He could not withstand the psychological stress, his consciousness was clouded. And it all ended with a banal suicide. I knew that. An hour later, a new message arrived.
I do not know how you can help me. I'm desperate. I don't even know what to tell you. I'm pregnant, and the last prenatal ultrasound showed multiple structural abnormalities. I was sent back to the pharmacological company, Nushortak, the same one where they experimented on us. I'm paranoid. I feel like it's all for a reason. My husband has completely changed. He hears voices in his sleep, suffers, and moves away from me more and more. I look into his eyes and do not recognize the person I fell in love with. Help us.
I couldn't help but be interested in all this. In fact, I took responsibility for these people back then. It's not my fault that they refused to help themselves and disappeared. On the other hand, our agent did not work. Conversations about trust began again. The girl refused to give her contacts or her husband's contacts, as I did not explain to her about the closed channel. They were in Turkey, a NATO country. We have certain opportunities there, but very limited. I cannot spend agents, which, by the way, are few in number. Some of them work directly on the territory. I needed at least 1 hour to comprehend the situation and analyze it on my own. Then another hour to run all the introductions through the analytical neural network that I personally grew. In addition, one unpleasant thought tickled in my soul, that if all this is not a very subtle intelligence game, in order to declassify part of our capacities, declassify and destroy. Do you think I value my life? Not at all. Others will take my place. I value you. I have a lot to do. 2 hours later, the neural network gave out an answer and an option that basically coincided with mine.
It will be possible to ensure the safety of the victims only in the territory of possible control. Leaving Russia was a mistake. Currently, the influence of positive space forces cooperating for the benefit of humanity has been noticed on the territory of the Russian Federation. The probability of surveillance of objects is 90%.
Surveillance, of course. What do we know in the bottom line? Currently, a number of experiments on human hybridization with alien organisms are being conducted in Europe, which involves the special services of NATO and therefore the United States. As for the countries, I can say with absolute certainty that these experiments are being conducted under the auspices of various pharmaceutical companies in Turkey, Slovenia, Bosnia, and Romania. Until recently, namely before the withdrawal of the US Army contingent from Afghanistan, experiments were conducted there, by the way, almost openly. Everything was disguised as illegal organ transplantation. People were kidnapped, became victims of experiments, and enterprising people with star-striped buttonholes did business so that they could distract the special services of other countries from the true background. It is necessary to somehow inspire the transfer of husband and wife objects from Turkey to Romania. But this is just an ordinary air flight, and after that they need to be removed from surveillance by NATO special agents. Most likely they are waiting for the natural delivery of a pregnant test subject, playing and possibly aware of my interaction with them. Most likely they know. They scroll through their combinations. Romania is one of the dangerous points to cross, but there will be a tornado after that. I had a specific plan. The contact persons from Romania had to move to Ukraine. In the maelstrom of events, chances, and windows of opportunity, everything could turn out as it should. I presented my thoughts to the contact persons, promised help, financially of course, and heard an interesting answer.
But it's dangerous there, because they can kill us there. Are you suggesting crossing the border illegally and then through Mukachevo or Truskovets to get to Kiev and contact the Red Cross? And the documents? It's all so complicated. My husband is getting worse and worse. I can barely hold on myself. I have nightmares, understand? This thing inside me.
The plan was risky, difficult to implement, but doable. It is impossible to leave Ukraine now, but it is quite possible to enter. And the Romanian border guards themselves can provide a corridor for a certain fee and open a free entrance without customs and other controls. Then Kiev, and there the International Organization of the Red Cross. I have my own man there, and from Ukraine back to his native country. Only there will I be able to ensure their safety, guaranteed by positive cosmic forces. The plan was unambiguous and began to be slowly implemented. A week later, I received a message on my cell phone, on a messenger in dual VPN mode.
We crossed the Romanian border. We got clean documents. I don't know how you do it all, but we did it. The Romanian border guards twisted their finger at our temples, called us crazy, but they helped. It was very scary. I'm still scared. I'm sorry. We got on the phone with a man from the Red Cross. Can you really protect us in Moscow?
Of course, I answered yes. I couldn't tell the whole truth. In fact, all this is an act of pure altruism. After all, she will die during delivery even if she performs a cesarean section. We know from scientific research that alien embryos are implanted in almost all vital organs. The girl is doomed. Besides, it is not completely known what is wrong with her husband. In Russia, it was possible to try to save at least him. Besides, for all the time that had passed, the danger that threatened him and caused his departure had been leveled. But I am responsible for what happens in front of me. After sending a message to the contact persons, I immediately requested the reports and information we received about human hybridization. I was completely immersed in papers, diagrams, digital reports. We need to find a way. We need to find at least the slightest chance and save their lives, both the husband and his wife. After all, the only thing I do is save human life. A day later, a message came from a Red Cross employee. Now everything depended only on him. We have to wait. The last message from the contact person came a week later.
We are in a rented apartment. We change places. We move almost every day. I feel that soon. The lower abdomen is constantly pulling and burning. I am a woman. I feel that the pain should be different. I am afraid. No.
The message was interrupted by a scream of pain, a screech of inhuman suffering. After that, the contact was cut off. It's gone wrong. It's gone wrong again. After 6 hours, the terrible guess was confirmed by a Red Cross employee.
I have been highlighted. The male object has been sent to the destination point. Wait. The female object is dead. The rehabilitation of the object and the destruction of the bacteria was carried out personally.
It was clear what he called the bacterium, and everything was also clear about the fate of the contacts. That's it. But in addition, I received a message from a Red Cross agent in my mail. A message with a very specific content.
Strange, be careful. The man will be transferred through an exchange program and will most likely get to the special services. He has all the signs of a biorobot. They changed his mind and put in a program. It was not possible to figure out which one. While he was under my control, I injected him with inhibitors, but when their effect ends, I cannot vouch for his behavior. The program will start working. In fact, he does not adequately perceive reality. A complete lack of emotional background. If you remember, we have already met with such manifestations.
Of course I remembered. One of these mind-altering creatures left me with a very large scar on my chest during a battle in underground caves when we tracked down a group of bombed biorobots that were being made out of people.